Hello, it's Murkage Dave and you are listening to the ACS Show.
So how was your journey, Murkage, down today?
It's a bit different.
Oh, is it?
Usually I just get the bus outside the Weatherspoons on my street.
Before getting a pint. After,
Yeah, or depends.
Well,
That's usually my route
Yeah.
to this part of town. So thanks for the
Oh man,
for escorting man in there.
that's all right. Shout out Bentley.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
So let's speak on your music firstly. The first time I heard Magic, Mission, Deja Rinse,
Okay.
it took me straight back to my adolescence.
Big tune.
What
Thank you.
what space was you in when you recorded that?
Do you know, it's funny, because I had the name for the song for a while, and I had this like long thing about my childhood, but it was just like, it was too convoluted. I was like, nah, this is not. It was like more like a book than a song, you know. So what actually kind of like helped me kind of click in was when the Basquiat exhibition was at the Barbican.
Okay.
So I was like, at that time I had this like cracked out like basement. It's gone now. Where was it? It was like on Hackney Road. I had like a room. It was horrible. I was in there working. I took a break, went down to the exhibition, and
So that was recent then. That was only what, 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
shorter than that.
Okay.
I think this was because the album came out at the end of 2018. That single came out, I can't remember exactly when, but maybe early 2018, something like that.
Okay.
So when I went to the Basquiat exhibition, I realised that he like hails up a lot of jazz musicians, like so do stuff on Charlie Parker or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I realised like that he was like, even though he was working, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, but he was hailing up the foundations.
Of course.
Before, yeah.
And so it just clicked with me. I was just like, for me, that his jazz guys is my UK garage, like. And so then I just went straight back to the studio and just wrote it in like an hour or whatever. Yeah,
Wow.
but it usually takes me a long time to write stuff. I had a lot of ideas already, but it was just like something about being at the exhibition just clicked in. And then
And when you heard that song yourself, did you say to yourself that, wow, this is definitely something different, this is special? Because I mean,
Second song on the album, right?
second
Yeah.
song in, yeah.
yeah.
It evokes emotion. It don't matter how old you are. You know,
it's nostalgic.
it's
like,
so nostalgic.
yeah.
The beat, the lyrics, like I don't know what instrument that is, where it's like the
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That to me is like
Yeah.
my childhood, but then it can also be someone who's 16's childhood. There's something in that. That's
Yeah, that's Star Slinger who produced it. He like sent it to me, and it's kind of funny. It has like a kind of even though like the drums are kind of Afrobeaty, but it has a kind of like, for me, it has like a kind of Manchester indie feel to
Big time.
to the beat. And I think that's why he thought of me as well, and that's why he sent it. But has it kind of like it's kind of like if like the Stone Roses made a Afrobeat song. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how it kind of.
That's a good example.
Yeah. I think
Manchester.
I think that's why maybe it's just a bit different, because my influences are from here and there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why.
But you're East London.
Yeah, I'm from.
Leytonstone.
I was born in Wicks Cross Hospital.
Me too.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
Big up West Coast.
Don't even hang,
let me
bro.
hang.
Don't hang, bro.
I had to look at him because he's the outsider here. Me and you.
Oh, yeah, we were having this convo.
Exactly.
This is Dave, and he's on a lot of Murkage.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so when you were growing up in East London, what was
Yeah.
and your sound now is so eclectic. So what were you listening to then?
Just like the same thing. You know, your first introduction is your parents, or or the older people that are around you. Tapes in the car,
Yeah.
soul music. Diana Ross, Whitney, Michael, Bob Marley, whatever. And then just kind of you start your own lane. Like I remember I had like Jungle Mania 2 on cassette. Do you remember PJ and Duncan?
I don't. I don't.
But Ant and Dec, you know that they were a rap group.
Oh, were they?
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Teaching us.
They were like, they started like grime, bro.
Really?
No, I'm chatting shit. but
you could tell me anything. I'll be like, yeah.
Wait. This is
no, but they had a rap album.
Okay.
PJ and Duncan, and I had that on tape.
Okay.
It was kind of washed, but
what are we talking? How long ago?
Bruv, I can't even remember now. It wasn't, but it was like, that's one of the ones I can remember.
Yeah.
Someone copied it for me, and then as you know, get into like the Fugees, the
That's
Score album.
So broad then. Like
Yeah.
But which artists, like, because when I listen to you, to me it's like spoken word.
Okay.
You're rapping, but it's so effortless. It's almost like,
Okay, this is an interesting thing. So you would say because I don't think I rap.
yeah, no, it's
all.
rap. Of course, it's rap.
But
It's
for me, it's not.
okay.
What
Well, tell us why.
And
Yeah.
usually, if you were white, I'd probably stick it on you for saying that.
Okay. But go on. So tell us why.
But no, because it's not. I don't. I think
We love white people, by the way. Just before they come for us, we love white people.
No, I mean, but that's really interesting that you see it like that, and that maybe I should pay attention to that a bit. But I mean, and I think for me, I'm definitely singing 100%.
Okay.
It's all. I mean, but I guess it depends because a lot of rappers these days, it's very melodic.
Exactly.
Like Young Thug, anyone post Future is very melodic. So maybe I should pay attention to that. I don't consider myself to be a rapper. There was a time where I did want to rap, but I was whack. So I guess maybe you're hearing like a lot of my writing style is influenced by just wanting to be a rapper.
I never thought like that.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. That's interesting though. At the end of the day, you can take it however
totally.
you want.
There's only really two people in the UK that really give me that sense of feel. Obviously, Mike Skinner goes without saying.
My guy.
And then obviously James Blake when he isn't full belting it and singing, like those verses from James when he's kind of rapping, if you call it that, sounds very similar to the pace that you flow.
Yeah,
you know, when you're blessing the rhythm.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I don't consider myself a rapper at all. But what was the question though?
The question was what artist was the first artist to say, you know what, I like what they're doing, and for you to lean for you to lean in and take influence in whatever capacity from.
Oh, well, in terms of like my sound,
well, not even so much your sound, but just whether it's like the delivery or the flow, even just like the
production,
or the writing.
I think like Ian Brown from the Stone Roses was a good one because it made me see that like you could sing like with like that tune, Magic Mission, Deja, Rinse.
And how do you remember that as well? Because that's a tongue twister.
No, because it's 4 pirate stations that I could get in East.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a story behind that.
Magic FM, Mission, Deja Vu, which is still there, and Rinse FM,
of course,
which is still there. So that's kind of like my full. Those are the ones, you know. You had Kiss FM, which was like the one extra at the time, and then you had those 4 that were kind of like you just find them by accident. There's other ones you could find here and there. But
that was a beautiful thing as well back in the day when you would stick on the radio and you would just find a station and then lock into a song you like and be like, you know what, that's my journey. That's my journey for today.
Yeah.
You spoke about Manchester.
Yeah.
You spent 12 years in Manchester.
About that, yeah. And
you formed Murkage Cartel.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
For those who don't know, the listeners who's watching, tell us about that collective and what you guys did.
Yeah, I guess like there was like what happened was I had like this was like MySpace times now. I had a song. At that time, I just went by my government.
Okay.
David Lewis.
Okay. Or David.
David Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a soul record that got remixed by I don't know if you guys remember Sunship. So they did a lot of the Mystique stuff. Yes. Craig David.
Like garagey.
Some of the great Craig David remixes. Yeah. So actually Sunship was kind of like Sunship and Chunky, but it's kind of like one guy, but sometimes there's a couple of them or whatever. But they remixed one of my tunes and EZ picked it up.
Amazing.
And put it on his Pure Garage compilation. And that was kind of like, I guess like the first time something happened where I guess like I had some kind of like in the mainstream, or like not the mainstream, but just like all my cousins got that compilation for Christmas, you know.
Right.
So it was the first time I had some kind of I felt like a bit of a breakthrough.
Of course.
And so I started the club night as a way. I was like thinking, yeah, like man's gonna be the next Craig David, let's go. You know what I mean? So I was like, I wanted to start something to have like a platform. It's a bit like you guys obviously like you're DJing, you're doing your thing, you're smashing it, and you've got a show as well. Like, so there's like,
thank you.
There's, you know,
it's 3-dimensional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got, and so it was the same kind of thing where I was like, I wanted to create a platform where me and my friends could show what we, you know, what we're on, rather than just at that point, a lot of promoters were just booking people from out of town
that had names or whatever.
Yeah. And then throwing all their money at that. And every time that's what they were doing. Whereas we were like, let's build up our thing. So that's how it started. And there's a lot of people, I don't know if you know Madam X. She was in Murkage Cartel, Star One.
Oh, of course, Star One, yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading, there was another guy. If you list who's in it, I'll think about it. Oh, what was the guy's name? I was reading, he was in Murkage Cartel. K, begins with K.
I mean, it was bare of us. It was like 20 of us. So
After I'll tell you, because I listen to his music as well.
Oh, okay, sick.
We're gonna play a little game.
Okay.
We're gonna say two things, and you've got to say one or the other. I think he's gonna start it off.
Okay, so a pint or a glass of prosecco.
And I have to say one.
Yeah.
It depends what
I mean,
what
you
it depends on my mood, man. What right now?
Yeah. What you would lean towards more?
I think with you two guys, you look like kind of like.
Don't say we look like prosecco.
No, but you're classy guys, isn't it? I feel like, but you got the Stony, so maybe.
I'll have a pint. He has prosecco.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol, but yeah, Reeboks or Air Maxes.
I got Air Maxes on now, yeah, but I would say I'm like a Reeboks kind of guy, because I remember like I used to work at JD Sports. That was one of my first. I think it was like my second job.
Selling to the, can't say that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't say what I'm going to say, but you know what I mean? Selling that line, you've got a lyric.
Selling Air Max to the shotters.
Yeah.
Can I not say that?
No, the shotters was fine, but I was thinking I was going to
say
say something else that was a bit more specific.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
really what that's what it was. It was just like a couple MCs, but mainly shotters.
Yeah.
Just coming in with cash.
Where was it? What JD?
It's Stratford Mall. It's like
this before Westfield.
Yeah, they moved it. So there's still a JD in that square, but they've moved it across.
Okay.
But yeah, like even with the discount, I couldn't really afford Air Max back then. So I was more Reebok classics.
They were spenny.
That mall's still busy though. I used to work in Stratford Circus, the theatre, right by the pitch house. Yeah.
And I feel like you could pick up those Reeboks from like, you know, Sports Direct. It wasn't like you didn't have to go to JD Sports to get them.
Yeah, it's more democratic, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, the Smiths or the Stone Roses?
Do you know what? That's a tough one. I think songwriting wise, I'm more influenced by the Smiths, but Morrissey he's a dickhead. Now, but then Ian Brown went a bit weird.
I thought you were gonna say something so great about him.
I was like, yo.
Nah, Morrissey's a bad dickhead, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know some of the racist shit that he said?
Because I don't know.
Yeah, nah, he's not. He's a great songwriter, but he's just a hater, bruv.
Oh, serious? Okay.
But yeah, he doesn't want to see us shine, bruv. So I'm conflicted.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But the stuff from the 80s was hard, and even Ian Brown went a bit mad across the pandemic, man.
Oh, really?
A lot of artists, a lot of that era of artists, they lost their minds a bit across the pandemic. Yeah. But I think Stone Roses are hard, but I feel like maybe the Smiths have got more songs that I would run on a day to day. It's hard to say.
We'll call it a draw.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. Okay, so a duffel coat or a trench coat?
Duffel or trench.
I like how you're really thinking about these, because sometimes normally the people are just firing
their
answers off. Yeah.
Is it cold? Is it, am I trying to impress? Am I
Anything.
trying to be practical?
Anything.
Say trench, like.
I respect that.
Mike Skinner or Liam Gallagher?
It's actually funny. Me, I don't know if me and Mike used to have a podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Back in, and we actually did one with Liam Gallagher.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I listened to that one.
Yeah, there's a photo. I was mad overweight back then, man. I was not looking great.
I was thinking because you've lost weight slowly.
Yeah. Just trying to do,
Good.
you know.
Wicked.
Yeah, thanks. I guess there's nothing wrong with being big.
Of
but
course.
I think for me, it was an unnatural weight for me.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? But I look mash up in that photo, bruv. Which is a shame, man.
Yeah.
But I think
that's an iconic photo. Though.
Yeah.
Just to hold on to that.
Just three of you guys. That's iconic.
Mike's my guy. Obviously, that's my spar. Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But Liam's a G as well, man.
It's a character. Right?
And like, just like the most. Do you know what I've read from that day? Yeah, he's a professional, right? We came out of this. Imagine we come out now, but imagine I'm Liam Gallagher.
Right.
So maybe a bit of a better result for you guys, but
No, we're good. We're good with Murkage.
But and we come out, but we were in, and there was an engineer from another room,
Okay.
who literally just like
Lost it, yeah.
ran out of his session to see Liam, right, and just lost his mind. Just like, I've seen you at this place, I've seen you at that place. You're the reason I became an engineer. Just reading off all this stuff, but I'm thinking, Liam's heard this a zillion times before. You've seen me at this place, but he not pretended, but the way that he spoke to him was with so much empathy.
Amazing.
And with so much like, he was like, oh really, like, you know, like made it feel like good for the guy.
Made it personal as well.
Yeah, and I think he took a photo with him and just. Yeah, I just watched it. I thought that was so sick because it must be so boring for him to hear that.
Of course.
But that does
thousands of times.
It makes you realise why you're doing music. I don't know. If, I guess if you're hearing that every day, it does become like overwhelming and boring. But I mean, those little moments are the reason that you do what you do. Do you know what I mean? So maybe you realise that.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
also, just like, you know, he probably clocked that you ran out of a session and he was like, you've lost your job. Do you know what I mean? You might as well take a photo. It makes sense. So you've dropped a few recent singles.
Yeah.
Awful Things being my favourite at the moment.
Thank you, man.
Can we catch Murkage on tour anytime soon? Any dates?
I think we're looking at next year now. So there's going to be more singles, albums coming,
Amazing.
and a tour, man. So
I'm waiting on that.
Yeah.
Amazing. And which kind of artists would you bring on tour with you? You know, any artists that you're watching right now that you're supporting, liking what they're doing?
Do you know, that's an interesting one because there's loads of artists that I think are sick. I think when you bring someone on tour as a support, and maybe not a lot of people know this, but I think you guys might have a bit more insight on this, is like when you're supporting an artist, you can have a bit of a shit time because like the tour manager, the main artist, their job is just to basically just mug you off like, on it, and I just and like you're not really getting paid, and it's like sometimes you don't have a dressing room, like and all this stuff. It's
the experience more than anything else. It's being on the road and doing those shows. And anyway,
but for me, I wouldn't want to put someone else in that position. So I want to obviously it's like I want to be able to, like, as my shows get bigger, bring through artists and they can perform in front of my audience, but I don't want them to kind of have that traditional support act experience. Where
don't you think? Sorry, Merk, to cut you off. Yeah. Don't you think that experience is kind of like very important for me and Ashton? Our earlier stuff was touring with a band called Aluna George.
Oh yeah. Sick.
And we would play the most random things. Yeah. Like Brit after parties, like just random stuff. Yeah. Because Aluna was packing her diary was like busy, 6 shows a week, and some nights we'd be playing to 20 people, some nights we'd be playing to 1,000 people, but that's important. Kind of have to see that.
You have to go through that journey.
Kind of have to see that. You have to, as an emerging talent or an established musician or DJ or whatever, you need to be in those rooms and understand that I can control 20 people and make them have the time of their life, and I can also control 1,000. Because between that is kind of the same thing, but you kind of have to have both to understand that it is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree with you actually. I think it's character building, and I feel like, okay, so coming back to, you mentioned Mike before, so he brought me on tour, and that was like, that experience.
When was this? Just having.
This was early 2019.
Okay, so it's recent.
I was supporting the streets, and that was, I agree with you because that was so important for me.
Inspiring, yeah.
Well, what it was every night I was going out there, and I was like, I've got a, you know, you got a man with his pint there.
Yeah.
I ain't paid to see this guy.
Yeah.
What is this? And so I've gone from doing my shows where they were smaller, but everybody knew the words to the songs, to going and performing to this guy.
Yeah.
And that's something that you have to learn.
Big time.
Okay, well, and my thing was every night I'm going to turn that guy with the pint with his arms folded into a fan. That was what I was on.
Of course.
That's
And
really-
it
it's a
and it
good
worked.
outlook,
And then later that year I had my own tour, and I was way better live because I pushed myself. So
course.
so for 100%, I'm not saying that it's not a character building thing, but also I just want, it's never to do with it's never to do with like the artist, but I just want to make sure whoever I bring on tour, they have a, even if it's character building for them to be performing
a level of respect.
Yeah.
I
That's all it is, because a lot of the time it's not really to do with you. It could be to do with other people, but people kind of internalize things and they just remember it as being you. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. I think I'm overthinking.
Nah,
You showed me that I'm overthinking
Not
it
at
a
all.
bit.
Not at all. This is
Yeah.
important, and the
Yeah.
fact that you even are thinking about it means you care,
Yeah.
which is an important thing.
Yeah.
But I've seen your I've kind of gone through the stages of seeing your music bubble to the point where it becomes mainstream, call it mainstream, to the point where, you know, people are listening to it on a day-to-day, you know. Me and Ashton are playing it on a day-to-day, our friends are playing it on a day-to-day. And what's been one of the most beautiful things with you is that you stayed completely true to yourself.
Absolutely.
You haven't commercialized your music in that sense. You haven't gone with these wild, crazy features just to get a bit more recognition. So yeah, we appreciate that.
And then we see.
appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and we appreciate, you know, the longevity that you have in mind. You know, it's just not a quick ticket to make money or
Quick check.
or,
Yeah.
you know, you care about this. So yeah, this is something that we had to put together.
No, I appreciate those words, man. I'll say. Sorry,
No, I was
Yeah.
going to just
Co-sign.
chime in with what he said and just
Yeah.
say that you have stayed so true to yourself. When I look back and before the show, I was listening to on your Spotify, and some of my favourite songs of yours are not even the top picks, and it shows me like the preference and whatever. But I had to go through your album. Some of the other tracks that people maybe didn't listen to because they're not in that top 5 played on Spotify
Yeah.
are some of my favourites.
Yeah, totally agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Thank
But
you.
they are again, like you spoke about this earlier. They are the more melodic tracks where people kind of still need that commercial factor, if that makes sense. So I guess the top picks are what people can vibe to a lot easier. The other stuff, if you are more the stuff that you have to dig deeper, whether it's the lyrics, the beat, the storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what it was? I think for me as a solo artist, I think I came into it in a bit of a weird, I had a bit of a weird route. So I guess I was like a club promoter, I was a DJ, but no one was, and I'd always made music, but no one was really trying to hear. But my club night had kind of ended, or I ended it because I was like, I just wasn't motivated to do it anymore. And I just wanted to do music, but no one was really trying to, do you know what I mean? It's like people, you know when you're trying to do something, but people are looking at you like you're something else.
Yeah.
And so in a way that forced me to, you see what you're saying, like about how I don't like play like, I don't know, like the clout game or play the feature game or stuff like that. I didn't really have the option. I'll be honest. All I could do was be myself. There's a song, I don't know if you guys know, Car Bomb.
Listen to it once, twice. Yeah.
But that one was the one where,
Was that your first track that when you moved to London?
well, yeah, when I came back, I was working with my guy Patrick, and it was like, it was just like a freestyle, like in a way, like I just improvised over a loop that he'd put together, and it was weird because I didn't know, I was a lot more honest and open on that record compared to like the stuff I'd done prior, but I don't know, it felt right. But at that point, everything I was putting out, it was like, nothing was really connecting. I remember shooting a video for that song, and I had 3 extras in the video, and in my head I was thinking, these men probably hate this song, but just, do you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking at the time. But that song, the video and the song, really connected for me, even though it was like on a small cult level. And I just remember, like, Pharrell played that song on the show, on the Overtone, and stuff. Scott Vayner picked it up. And
shout out to Pharrell, man. And shout out to Scott as well. He's a great selector.
Yeah.
That shows you, isn't it, that if you thought about those extras, that way of thinking, and if great to like Pharrell are playing out.
But also, sorry to cut you, Dave. Also, me personally, anyway, it's people like Scott is why. That's the validation I need. If I need any validation at all, people that know music, understand music.
Yeah. It was a lesson to me, because I could have gone down those other routes, because people will give you bad advice. They'll tell you, this is a shortcut, go this way, or this is a shortcut, go that way. Work with this person, or do something for this scene. But actually that was the lesson. It was like, just do your thing, and it's going to take a bit longer, but it's going to be right. Basically. Yeah. And it's so cheesy to say be yourself, but that's kind of like what I've had to learn over the years, is just do me.
And we can see that.
And you've done it incredibly well. We've got some flowers for you.
Because we have to give you your flowers.
I'm not sure if our guy Tej
is going to bring them in.
Is on cue right now.
These are for you.
Bruv, you guys are too slick with it, man. This whole experience.
Nah, not at all.
I appreciate that.
Bruv, what can I do?
Nah, man, you're good. Just keep making music, man. You're good.
Thank
you. See-man smile.
Thank you, man.
I had to throw that in there. That's one of my favourite tracks, and Put You On My Shoulders. Bro, they're the two.
Pleasure.
Yeah, man. They're the 2 songs that I listen to and I smile. So yeah,
fellas, I appreciate it,
seriously,
man.
this is a real pleasure.
Thank
and we can't wait to see you on tour as well, man.
Yeah, you got invited down.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Where should I put these? I need
you put them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Murkage Dave, everybody. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you.
Pleasure.